"No need for that, dear," he assured her. "Let me fix you up something to eat. You must be famished." He brought Paula to a small break room in the back of the barber shop. She sank down wearily at the table while he heated up some leftover soup and bread. The hot meal soothed her empty, aching stomach. After eating, the barber showed Paula to the small spare room he kept for long days at the shop. It contained a narrow bed, a worn armchair, and little else. "It's not much, but it's warm and safe for tonight," he explained apologetically. Paula quickly assured him it was perfect. After her emotional day, just having a place to lay her head felt like an unbelievable luxury. The barber found her a t-shirt to sleep in. Paula collapsed gratefully onto the lumpy mattress, which felt as comfortable as a feather bed at that moment. As she drifted off, Paula whispered a prayer of thanks for this selfless man. Exhausted both physically and emotionally, Paula fell into a deep sleep almost as soon as her head hit the pillow in the spare room of Dahab's barbershop. She had shown up distraught and desperate for help, just as Dahab was closing up for the night. His kindness in listening to Paula's story and giving her a place to stay had restored a small bit of her lost faith in humanity. As the morning sun streamed in through the room's small window, Paula awoke feeling more rested than she had in a long time. For a moment, she forgot the turmoil of the day before. Then the reality of her situation came crashing back. She sat up slowly, running a hand through her unevenly chopped locks. Dahab's shop would be opening soon, she realized. She couldn't impede on his business all day. Paula crept out quietly to the shop floor. Dahab stood sweeping up hair trimmings, whistling softly. He looked up with a warm smile when he saw Paula. "Sleep all right, dear?" he asked. Paula nodded, thanking him again profusely for his generosity. Dahab waved away her thanks. "Have you given any thought to your next steps?" he asked gently. Paula's anxiety stirred again. She had no money, no job, no plan at all, really. Sensing her distress, Dahab patted her shoulder. "Don't worry, we'll figure something out," he assured her. "Why don't you stay here again tonight? I could use some help around the shop." Paula unconsciously reached up to touch her unevenly chopped hair as she spoke with Dahab. The crude, short locks made her feel so vulnerable and exposed. Dahab noticed the self-conscious gesture. "Your hair is quite uneven, isn't it, dear?" he remarked kindly. Paula nodded, fresh tears stinging her eyes as she recalled her mother forcefully hacking away at her once beautiful mane. "Come, have a seat," Dahab said gently, motioning to the barber chair. "Let me tidy it up for you." Paula hesitated briefly, feelings of distrust rising instinctively, but looking at Dahab's compassionate eyes, she felt certain he only wanted to help. Settling into the chair, Paula gripped the armrests tightly as Dahab draped a cape over her. The sensation brought back memories of struggling against her mother's grip. "Just breathe now," Dahab soothed, noticing her tension. He began carefully combing out her choppy, chin-length hair. As Dahab gently combed through Paula's uneven, shorn locks, she tensed up involuntarily. The sensation brought back the trauma of her mother roughly cutting off her hair. Noticing her breathing quicken, Dahab spoke in a calm, reassuring tone. "Just breathe now. You're safe here." Paula focused on slowing her breathing, reminding herself that Dahab was not there to hurt her. After combing her hair into some semblance of order, Dahab stepped back. "I'm going to use some clippers to tidy it up, all right, dear?" Paula hesitated, feeling her anxiety rise again. Clippers made her think of buzz cuts, of drastic cuts against one's will. Dahab seemed to read her thoughts. "Don't worry, I'll go slowly and only trim it enough so it's even," he explained. Paula nodded nervously. She reminded herself to trust Dahab's kind nature as he switched on the loud buzz of the clippers. Starting at her nape, he carefully trimmed just a 1/4 inch off the ends, letting the hair fall softly to the floor. Moving slowly, he trimmed around her ears and sideburns. Paula sat rigidly, every muscle tensed, but Dahab maintained a calm, steady pace, never cutting more than necessary. After what felt like an eternity, Dahab switched off the clippers. "All finished," he declared. "Take a look." Bracing herself, Paula turned to the mirror. The uneven ends were neatly trimmed into a pixie style. She let out a long breath. After finishing the haircut, Dahab stepped back and smiled warmly at Paula. "There, see, I told you that you could trust me." Paula hesitantly turned towards the mirror again, letting out a breath of relief when she saw her hair neatly trimmed into a pixie cut. Dahab gently unfastened the cape from around Paula's neck and removed it with a flourish, ceremoniously revealing her newly tidied locks. "Much better," he proclaimed. "Now how are you feeling, my dear?" Paula ran a hand over her smooth, even hair, getting used to the shortened style. I feel better," she admitted, "more like myself again." Dahab nodded knowingly. "A good haircut can be so restorative," he said. "It's not just about looks, it's about dignity." Standing up on still shaky legs, Paula turned to face the kind barber. "I don't know how to thank you for being so understanding," she said earnestly, "for helping me reclaim a part of myself." Dahab waved off her thanks. "No need for that. Just promise you'll keep moving forward no matter what obstacles come next," he encouraged. Paula stood a little taller, new resolve building inside. She had survived this trauma. She could survive whatever came next. "I promise," she replied firmly. "Knowing there are still good people like you out there gives me hope." After finishing Paula's haircut, Dahab removes the cape and smiles warmly. "There, I hope you're feeling a bit better now." Paula nods, gratefully replying, "Yes, thank you again for your kindness. It's restored my faith that there are still good people in this world." As she makes to leave, Dahab stops her gently. "If you have nowhere pressing to be, I could actually use some help around here." He gestures around the shop floor, covered in cut hair from the day's clients. "As you can see, this place could use some tidying up." Paula looks at the mess and then back at Dahab. "Of course, I'm happy to help clean up for you after all you've done for me." Dahab smiles and fetches a broom and dustpan, handing them to Paula. "Here you are, my dear. Please start by sweeping up all this hair for me." Paula grips the broom tightly, feeling purposeful having this small task to complete. She begins sweeping the piles of hair into the dustpan. Dahab watches approvingly. "That's it. You're doing great. Just gather it all up and dump it in the bin over there." He points to a small trash can in the corner. Paula dutifully sweeps and deposits the cut hair, feeling calmed by the simple, repetitive motions. Paula finishes sweeping the piles of hair from the barber shop floor and looks around with satisfaction. "There, all done," she declares to Dahab proudly. Dahab examines the freshly swept floor and nods approvingly. "You did an excellent job tidying up, but there's just a couple more small tasks I could use help with if you're willing." Eager to repay his kindness in any way she can, Paula quickly agrees. "Of course, anything you need." "Wonderful. Could you please wipe down the workstation over there?" Dahab asks, gesturing to the barber chair and table holding his tools. Paula fetches a clean rag and sprays the surfaces with disinfectant cleaner. She starts by meticulously wiping down the arms and headrest of the leather chair, removing any stray hairs or product residue. Moving to the work table, she carefully wipes down the base, then each tool. The combs, scissors, clippers, making sure they are pristine for the next client. Paula works methodically and diligently, taking pride in this small but important task. When she's satisfied every surface is clean, she steps back. The chair and table are spotless now, she reports to Dahab. He examines her handiwork and smiles. You've done an outstanding job, my dear. Your hard work and dedication are impressive. After inspecting the freshly cleaned workstation, Dahab turns to Paula with an approving expression. You've done outstanding work, my dear. Your dedication shows me you are ready for more responsibility. Intrigued, Paula asks, What did you have in mind? Dahab gestures to the barber's chair. I'd like to teach you the art of the traditional straight razor shave. With some training, you could work alongside me here at the shop. Paula's eyes widen in surprise and excitement at the opportunity. You would do that for me? I would be so grateful to learn. Of course, Dahab replies warmly. Come, let me show you. After agreeing to teach Paula the art of traditional shaving, Dahab has her take a seat in the barber chair. First, we prepare the face, he explains, draping a warm, moist towel across Paula's face to open up the pores. He leaves it for a few minutes, then removes it. Now, lather up with this shaving cream, Dahab instructs, handing her a brush and bowl. Paula takes the brush and swirls it in the cream, feeling the texture. She then gently applies it over her cheeks, chin, and neck area, just as she had seen Dahab do for customers. Once her face is covered in a thick layer of rich lather, Dahab nods approvingly. Good. The shaving cream protects the skin and allows the razor to glide smoothly.